In a joint world press briefing, the Ogoni Youth Federation Worldwide and the National Youth Council of Ogoni people has issued a communique demanding for justice for the Ogoni people. The youth bodies through their leaders are calling on the federal government and the Ministry of Environment to caution Hyprep on her operations in Ogoniland as regards the cleanup. It might interest you to know that recently a suit challenging Hyprep's operations in Ogoniland was struck out on technical grounds.
Hyprep was established by the Federal Ministry of Environment Notice 2016, Gazette number 176, volume 103. The Governing Council and Board of Trustees of Hyprep were inaugurated in 2016 and charged with the responsibilities to manage, approve, supervise, monitor all projects, contracts of the clean-up and remediation of Ogoniland, as well as implement all aspects of the United Nations Environment Program reports of Ogoniland. There have been several issues bordering on transparency and accountability between the Ogoni people and Hyprep management that culminated in a lawsuit, Hyprep versus Ogoni Youth Federation, which was struck out of court on technical grounds on July 16, 2020. The judgment came as a rude shock as the learned judge declared that Hyprep was not known to the law. Hyprep cannot sue and Hyprep cannot be sued. Like I said, Ogoni Nation received that with rude shock, that an agency managing a whopping $1 billion of Ogoni fund is not known to the law. The ugly trend of bureaucratic and political interference have crept into the operations of Hyprep, as the agency is operated in courts-like secrecy, operated like a secret court. According to Wikipedia, transparency as used in science engineering business, the humanities, and in other social contexts is operating in such a way that it's easy for others to see what actions are performed. Transparency implies openness, communication, and accountability. This is not the case with Hyprep.
The youth bodies also made it public a threat to life and assault in the course of their quest for justice, and however asked for the sack and removal of the Hyprep boss.
Look at it this way. We went to Abuja, I think that was Thursday last week, exactly 1 week, to see the minister. He invited us. You know, we wrote to the minister, National Youth Council of Ogoni people wrote, Ogoni Youth Federation wrote, and Mossop wrote. And the minister in his wisdom said, no, I can't be addressing you people batch by batch. Why don't you come in as a block? Which we did. And he further said, due to COVID-19, we can't come in large number, that we should limit it to about 8 persons. And we picked two from each of the organizations, and we went. It will be interesting to know that when we got there, what we saw was quite different from what we are talking here. So to me, I strongly feel that there is a connivance between the minister itself, and the project coordinator on how they are trying to defraud Ogoni people of these funds. Because when you're not adding value to a system like this, where people died, and you are interested in awarding contract to your pocket, I think at that point we are in a very serious, we are in troubled waters. When you say the sack of Dr. Marvin Deki, we are not playing. It's not as if, in fact, he's from my community, if you are looking at it that way. But this is something that people died for. There is no way you can separate the Ogoni struggle from Hyprep, the formation of Hyprep. We don't like what they are doing. And we got it on good account in higher quarters, that they are about looking for somebody to fill that position. Because Joy Nuye was the first project coordinator of Hyprep under Goodluck Jonathan. Now Marvin, another Ogoni son too, under Buhari, is still failing. In fact, he has failed woefully. He has failed. They said emergency measures, that before you do the cleanup, there are certain things you have to put in place. You jump and left those things because money will not be involved in those things, and those things are the basis of the cleanup because they add value to the community. Like potable water, what are you cleaning if they are still drinking the polluted water? No, just let's ask ourselves, what are you cleaning when the boys are still breaking pipes and still doing oil bunkering, still polluting? You are cleaning, they are polluting, so you clean and you pollute and pollute. It becomes a circle. So you do the first things first before going over to say you want to come and clean. Clean should be at maybe the third stage of the process.
The youth groups later rounded up the briefing, still pressing forward their demands.
For the purposes of records, may I reiterate these demands. We have demanded that a concrete remedial action plan and the use of the best available technology for the Ogoni cleanup to achieve the gold standards in environmental remediation, as the technology or methodologies of Hyprep are capable of creating further geotechnical and hydrogeological issues on our shared shock land. We have demanded that, and that will follow it to the latter. We further demanded in that our release, and which we are also reiterating in this meeting, that the current Hyprep coordinator must be sacked. But we are insisting that the office of the project coordinator that was designated and reserved for the Ogonis must be maintained. And we are noting that Ogoni parades an array of some of the best hands in specialized disciplines. Of course, environmental related and any other discipline you can think of. And if this can be done without political interference, if the choice of who becomes the Hyprep coordinator can be done without political interference, Ogoni has the best candidate for that job. We demanded for that there must be an independent ombudsman consisting of Ogoni environmental professionals and other internationally reputed watchdogs for monitoring and evaluation of this cleanup and setting of the remedial targets for this cleanup. Because as it stands and as we speak, Hyprep does not have what we call the key performance indicator for this cleanup. They don't have their success indicator for this cleanup. They are doing it haphazardly, in contrary to the recommendations of the United Nations Environmental Program reports. And we are saying no. Just recently, they were in Ogoni commissioning a cassava plant without asking the people what they want. I tell you that our people have lost their lands. We have lost our waterways and our aquatic lives. We have no other place to run to. And if a project that is coming to, heal our wounds could be carried out without the communication and the consultation of the people, then that is, of course, a dead on arrival project. They are doing this whole thing in contrary to the very recommendations of the reports they claim to be implementing. Thank you very much.
According to the youth bodies, their demands are simple and straight, waiting for response from the authorities. Ekike Odom, the news.